Morning. Good morning, everyone. Just going to put you on mic on. Morning, everyone. Hopefully you can hear me. Oh, don't even know what that is. What's that? Oh, okay. Yeah, that was there. I assume that's a yep, you can hear me. Thanks very much. Good morning. I'll say a few mornings to people. Morning to Samuel, to Rabbit or Fox, and to Lone. And then good morning, only me. Beauty Love Creative, Colleen. What else have we got? Bear of a Garden in Texas. And Lone's over there as well on YouTube. Good volume. Thank you very much, Rabbit Fox. Occasionally get something right. Apologies for being a few minutes late today. Hello, Leo. I've been modding. Well, I've been modding since about 6 this morning. Was it 6 or was it 5? No, it was about 6. I can't even remember, to be honest. No, but one of the streams I've been modding for this morning is still going on at the moment. In fact, 2 are. But one of them crashed just before I started, so I wanted to make sure they were up and running before I left them to come over here. So that's the reason we're a few minutes late. We're back in the greenhouse today. Well, you're sat in the greenhouse. You're currently looking at some Osteospermum, pale yellow flowers in one of the wool baskets. We haven't been down this end of the garden really very much for the last few weeks because it's been so hot. It's currently 27 degrees in the greenhouse, and that's the door and the window open, so it's pretty warm down here. It's a bit cooler outside because there's a breeze. We've got some general maintenance type things to do today. We're going to chop back the Diascia bush. I've got a couple of things to replant in the veg patch, which we can explain as we're going on, and there's some other bits and pieces. I've still got a few plants left, so I've got a couple of pots I can still fill, and that'll be the end of the planting for this year. Just see if anyone's got any comments. The other bear over on YouTube is asking, anyone going to watching the Mexico? Only if I'm up at 1 AM in the morning. If I'm asleep at 1 AM in the morning, no. But that's the simple answer from me. Before we start, I am going to have something to drink. Oh, thank you very much. We're being raided on Twitch. Oh, it's the lovely Diascia Creations. Have we got a mod who can shout out, Dem? So I'm just having a slurp of some liquid. Yeah, I'm a bit shocked by that raid. Thanks for the raid, Dem. If anyone doesn't know who Diascia Creations is, I don't know why you don't know, but I think virtually everyone who's already in the chat probably does. But they do wonderful woodworking, jewellery, and they're making ukulele. And tomorrow they've got their 1-year affiliate party on Twitch tomorrow, which they're doing a giveaway for as well on the stream. Thanks for the resub, Dem. Yeah, she's working on a fantastic fidget owl. If you've got a link you want to put in there, Dem, that people can look at, feel free. You should have the rights, being a moderator, to do it yourself. If you want to put your website in, that's fine. But welcome, raiders. Anyone who doesn't know who I am, I'll put myself on screen. You'll recognise the name, but I'll actually. So yeah, Dem's put the website on there. If you're in the chat loan, if you could repost Dem's website over onto YouTube, so people on YouTube can look at the website as well if they want to. If you can do that, thanks. Welcome, Alex Blackcat. I'll put myself on screen so at least you know what I look like. I might look a bit scary at the moment because I've had the week off. I haven't been working this week, so I'm a bit scruffy. So let's turn you around. I'll even check that I'm actually on camera, which I'm not going to be. We do have a habit of chopping my head off. Actually, it would help if I zoomed back out, and it would even more help if I put my glasses on to see what I was doing. There you go. You should be able to see me. So, yep. So yeah, hello everyone. This is Mr. Bear. This is Bear in the Garden. This is the greenhouse. Anyone who doesn't know who we are, we're in northern England, near York. For anyone who doesn't know that much about England, so we're halfway between sort of Scotland and London. We are predominantly a YouTube channel, but we live stream YouTube and Twitch. So anyone who's come across on the raid, if you hear me talking to other people, that's who I'm talking to over on YouTube. The channel is basically everything and anything to do with the garden throughout the year. So that's the wonderful advertising. Yeah, thanks for posting that. So anyone over on YouTube, if you want to see what Diascia Creations does, Loan's posted the website link in there. If anyone's interested. I'm just having a slurp of liquid before. I'm also contractually obliged that if I have a hydration break, I have to promote the merch. Oh, the merch. Yeah, okay, that's enough of the advertising. I need to put my mug down. That's not going to get compost in it or drop on top of any electronics. So see who else is coming. Running out of these. Right. Oh yeah. If I'm not going to bother trying to convince you all to go and follow Achilles, because if you're coming on the raid, I think you've heard that enough so far. So, but right. Yeah, Bear, our Texas Bear, over on YouTube. Yeah, that link is for Diascia Creations, who's the moderator over. Well, she's actually a moderator on both channels, but she's mainly over on Twitch, and she's the one who's raided her viewers into us this morning over on Twitch. So, oh, you like the teacup? Yeah, well, if you can find the links for the merch stores are all over the place, and also if you go on our website bearandthegarden.com, you can find the links to the two shops. There's one US based shop and there's one UK based shop, but they send stuff everywhere all over the world. They do everything for the poor little creator. I'll show you a few things round the bottom of the garden briefly, because we haven't been down here that much recently. So hold on to your chairs. Yep, come on. Should still be on autofocus. So we've got some Rebecca or black-eyed Susans starting to appear. The baskets are doing quite nicely. These are the gherkins here that we planted. I don't know if we've got, I think we've got gherkins somewhere on it. See if I can find a gherkin for you. Oh, there you go. Ooh, they're very prickly, the leaves are. Yeah, there's a gherkin just in there. And then those are the other gherkins. Now they're a bit more yellow, less developed, because they went in about 2 weeks after the first one. What else have we got? I'll take you in the greenhouse. We haven't been in the greenhouse recently. There's Wiggy the acorn that we grew from an acorn. See how big Wiggy's getting now? And then we've got these are the peppers and the cucumbers. We've even got a cucumber. I think only me has got some, is doing much better on cucumbers than we are. So the peppers and the cucumbers are in here. Coming out of the greenhouse. It's quite breezy here, so these are, I think, heleniums, something like that. Don't quote me on that. And then obviously these are the tubs that we did. You can see we are getting a bit of slug damage around. There's a miniature sunflower there. Oh yeah, while we're talking sunflowers, these are the Twitch against YouTube sunflowers. So this is a YouTube sunflower. This is a Twitch, these are Twitch sunflowers. So it's pretty even going at the moment. So I don't know who's going to win that competition. We've still got a few plants and stragglers. I've been slowly sorting this out this week. Like everyone who has a week off, you never quite do as much as you want. This is Cosmia. This is the Lucifer version in a pot. There's some other stuff over there which we can look at in a bit, but this is one of the jobs we've got to do. This is the veg patch, which has been a bit of a disaster really. It does need weeding, but the climbing French beans are just starting to get flowers on them. Don't know if you can see that just there. In fact, there's actually a bean there. So there's a French bean there. This was mainly going to be taken up with pumpkins and courgettes, but we've only got one pumpkin that's remaining now, and that's what's remaining of the pumpkin. It's basically been mauled by the slugs. So I don't think we're going to get anything this year, pumpkin wise. That was another pumpkin that's gone. That's another pumpkin that's gone. I'm just having a look for the... Yeah, it looks like we've lost one courgette there. We've still got two courgette plants there and there. So still hopeful of some courgettes. The cabbage is still growing, sort of, even though it's been munched, and the corn is still going as well. If these 2 courgette plants get going, they'll probably fill the whole of this space up anyway on their own right. But what I've got, because we've lost a little bit of French beans in this section here, I can either replant those, but I think what I'll do is I'll utilise the 2 spaces I've got, and I've got some French beans and just put a cane in for them to grow up. And then, yeah, and then if the courgettes do take off, they can grow underneath the beans anyway. So it's been a disaster this year. I don't know why, whether it's probably the extreme heat we've had, and also it's been wet. And even though you water stuff, it never quite satisfies. So it's nice little fuchsias there. Some lavender, some white lavender. What I've done this week, let's tip you up. Oh, wrong way. I forgot to take you off the zoom, sorry. Professional. And then this is the grapevine, which I've trimmed back this week because it was totally overgrown the front. The other side needs doing it because that's overhanging the greenhouse. Just see if we can see any grapes. There are grapes on there. I've got to find them first. There you go. Hopefully you can see the grapes there. Sorry, I'm just sneezing. So yeah, so we've got some grapes. I can't really see whether that's focusing or not, but just right in the centre. So that's a rough idea of what's happening down here at the moment. So I'll come back to see what the comments are. Apologies if I miss any comments, but obviously when I'm running around with the camera, I can't really see your comments because you're sat in the greenhouse. Let's tip you down so you can actually see what's going on. It's always an advantage. So let's just see what's happened in my absence. Good morning, Michael. Morning, Zab. Good to see you. Just reading through the comments. Our Texas bear, their dog ate one of the cucumbers right in front of them. I don't know, I shouldn't laugh really, should I? So it's just like, I was thinking when I was running a bit late this morning, should I use the phrase, my dog ate me homework and that's why I was late. I did think about that, so it's funny how that came up again. I can see Achilles and Zab are getting some honey out the honey pot. That doesn't sound right either, but never mind. Oh, see, Dem dropped onto YouTube to say hello. For members on YouTube, I'm starting to add some new emotes slowly on there. So I added one yesterday, so you'll see some appear over the next week. Just going back. Yeah, Alex is saying about trying to grow some veg in their yard, but the ground's not good enough for it. Yeah, it's always a bit temperamental. You could always try some pots. I grow lots of things in pots, like all the cucumbers and the peppers and so on are in pots here, so that's an option. If literally your ground is hopeless and you haven't really got the time or inclination to spend hours trying to improve it, you can do that. A bag of compost and a pot, and you can grow most stuff in that. I'm lucky that the ground here, the whole of here before the houses were built in the 30s was a big allotment area, so the actual underlying soil is pretty good. But the biggest problem we have here, really trying to keep anything going veg-wise, is slugs and snails. Do you have much clay in the garden? No. Very unusual. My previous garden, which Sab would, is fairly close to, down in the sort of Warwickshire, Birmingham area in the UK. That was basically clay. There was a little bit of loam in it, but there's no clay here at all, really. It's just good loam soil. Totally utterly different. So you've been suffering, Zab. I hope you feel better as the day goes on. Yeah, Alex. Yeah, even what I say, some of our other UK viewers, they'll have different phrases for it as well. It's you could just move 10 miles in the UK, and people have trouble understanding each other just because not so much of the basic English language, but by all the local dialect and phrases. I have a problem because this is not my home area. So whenever I hear someone talk around here, they sound very different to how I'm used to hearing people say. And what I say when you greet someone is different to what they say around here. And quite often they don't understand what I'm saying. So, and if I go further north, I can't. If I've been to Newcastle and I can't understand a word half the time they're saying. So, yeah, right. Let's actually do something practical, shall we? Rather than sit around and waffle for hours on end. Oh, the grapevine, which is coming over here. When I first moved here, this whole area here was covered in. It had like a trellis over the top, and it covered the whole thing. It did. But I trimmed it back to. It sits in the corner of the veg patch, so it's not my grapevine. It's a previous owner's grapevine. But when I first moved here, the bottom of this garden was literally covered in ivy. The fences had about 3 foot on the fences, both sides of ivy. Most of the floor was covered in ivy. It was a horrible job to deal with. Never grow ivy. If you can avoid it, do so. Thanks for the five stream streak. And thanks for the follow. Yeah, only me saying they moved into a 1960s new build and their garden was like a builder's tip. Yeah, if you buy new builds, quite often the builders use the gardens as as a convenient place to dump all their rubbish and then chuck a bit of topsoil on it. So what we'll do first, what we're going to do first is we're going to just trim back the Diascia, because that means I can then plant underneath that area. The Diascia, don't say I'm not prepared, is, just pull that up. This is Diascia. I can't even get it. Look, I could dance now and you could see my feet, but this is Diascia. You may have seen this on stream on some of the YouTube videos and so on, and I think we've shown it in passing as we've walked around the garden. The bees love this. But this is a sort of shrub. Presently it is taller than I am. It does start to take over. You have to trim it back each year, because it only flowers on this year's growth. So for the rest of the summer it will grow, and then it will flower on that sort of May, June time next year, and it will carry on doing that. So what I've got to do is I've got to cut that back, probably halfway a third. I'll put that up in the top corner, a bit smaller so you can see me as well. I'm just reading about Only Me's dad burying an old garage door in one of his allotments. Yeah, I'm not saying what's buried at my old house. Let me just move that in the top corner. It's frustrating. Okay. It's okay, that's done now. So goes down 6. So yeah, so what we have to do is we have to cut it down. I'll show you, but we'll cut it down about half, third down, half down, to a place where it can then sprout for next year's flowers. You can cut it to the ground, but if you cut it right down to the ground, it's another bee. If you cut it down to the ground, it probably won't flower next year, so you'd be able to wait 2 years. So you can cut it down the ground and it will regrow, but you just lose a year of flowers. So Leo's off for a hike. Enjoy your hike, Leo. I see chat's not being invited to that again. That's an inside joke, that is. Anyone who doesn't know Leo Fora, she does lamp work, lovely glass jewellery and so on. And she's got a birthday stream on Tuesday afternoon. So if you're not following Leo, give Leo a follow. It's a good fun stream. Well, it is for the viewers. Whether it is for Leo is a different matter. Right, I'm just going to move it so you can see what we're doing. Everyone hold on. If I disconnect you, I'll reconnect you and bring you and connect you back up. Ooh. Sorry about that. It's not very flat, but okay. Let's sort you out. Oh dear. Just to make sure you're actually in shot. Alright, so we're going to get some gloves and some choppy items. Just check that. Zab off as well. Thanks for dropping in, Zab. Hope you feel better as the day goes on. Right. While I'm doing this, I can't really see the chat that well. I could put it on the phone, but it's so bright I can't see anything on the phone anyway, so I'll come back and check that in a bit. So this is the Diascia here. So in the top left-hand corner of the screen is what it was flowering like literally a week, 10 days ago. And if I pull some of this off, and that's what it looks like now in terms of its flowers. So you've got the actual little, you've actually got the little seed pods starting to develop. So as you can see, I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but right up here, that's as tall as it is, it's way up here. And the other problem is because it grows so quick, it overhangs the actual flower bed itself. So just check. Yeah. So what I want to do is try to cut this back. Now what it says is third halfway, and we're looking for a green shoot. That's what it says. But what the garden does is a different matter. I'm not trying not to demolish these Verbena flowers while I'm doing this. The first thing I will do, we'll get rid of this climbing rose out of here before it has its revenge on me. I've already taken one of these off. But what I'm looking for is looking down the main stick for classically it would be a green bud. But it's what I'm aiming for really is if you see just above where the secateurs are there, it has this sort of, you can almost see a natural drawing if you think of bamboo, which has little sections and then a knobbly bit and then another section. It's almost like that it is, and it's those joints where the stalks come out. So you can see that one coming out of there. This has got no flowers on it. That would be the thing that's going to grow this year and have the flowers on for next year. But you can see already by June that's one nearly 3 foot long. So if you leave that to grow, it's going to get ridiculous. But if I cut it back now, it's still got time to produce the stalks for next year. So I'm not particularly fussy. If I can't see what I'm cutting, you see I've just got that just below that joint, which is wrong. But I can always go down and cut back down to the next one down. Yeah, that can go. There we go. Admittedly, when you've done this, it's not going to look very pretty. But it's got to be done, I'm afraid. I'm probably going at least 50% on this, if not a little bit more actually. We'll go for that one. So not only is it good for the plants, it will produce a lot of new growth for next year. And it will open up all the light to anything that's below it. Okay, we'll go for that one. We'll go for that one. That's a different plant altogether. That can come out. Let's go for I'll go for that there. So you end up talking to yourself. I'll come back and check on the chat in a sec. So this bush flowered this year. It didn't flower last year because the previous year I'd cut it right down, hard down to the ground, because it was literally, well, 10 foot wide, 10 foot tall, and it came way out. So at some point you have to decide whether a plant is actually creating more problems than it's actually being pretty. It's a shame because when it does flower, it's beautiful and the bees love it. But then again, it only flowers for about a month for the year, and then it's not even evergreen for the winter. So it's pretty when it's there, but it's not really creating longevity to the garden as such. I am going to take some of these out really low down, I think. Yeah. So you immediately see the difference we've got in here already. So we'll take that off there, take that off there. That one I'll take out. Being careful of the roses that are in there. I'm going to leave some of the green on it to still allow it to grow. You see what we've done now, we've opened all that up and there's actually a rose bush here, which is looking a bit straggly because it's basically been swamped by that, so it's had to go out flat and sideways. In fact, it's to the point where it's actually had a rose on it and I haven't even seen that. So this is a ridiculously tall piece. Now if I'm going to cut this back to finding somewhere where it's sprouting already, I'm literally going to only have it go to there. So it's going to have this really ugly long stick. So I'm going to take an executive decision, take that out totally, and that can sprout from the bottom. So that particular bit won't flower until 2 summers, 18 months away. This one here, that's got plenty of growth on it. So, and you can also tell the newer stuff this year is a lot smoother, greener, and it's also flexible, like yeah, like I was when I was young, flexible. I'm past the point of being flexible anymore. That one there, I could leave like that, but the obvious danger to that is if I'm working in the flower bed here, that's going to go straight into my head. So that's coming out as well. And that's an older one, and that's doesn't flex at all. And you can see it's a much woodier colour. So it's not just grumpy old people like me that become less flexible over time. The plants do as well. Just move some of this vegetation out of the way. Oh, I nearly disconnected you there. I'll go back and have a look at the chat as well. Everything's dry this morning. I haven't watered the garden this morning for the reason I want to get in and I'm going to cut that back as well. I want to get in and do stuff that I'm not going to get soaked while I'm doing it. So we'll come back and see what's been happening in the chat. I say apologies if I miss anything. I do go back and read all the stream afterwards. Just going to have a hydration break. I won't force you into a forced merch break as well. Let's move you around, move the camera around now. I can see what it's looking at. Covered in burrs and seed heads. So let's just move down. That's a bit better. God, that's a real transformation. That is just 5 minutes work. Yep. So are we meant to get a lot of heat this week? Yeah, it's difficult to say. You think this week here, I think it's going to be warm, but I don't think it's going to be excessive for here. Let's see. Let's just see what the forecast says for here this week. It's been quite a nice week here this week. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's mid-20s through to Tuesday, then 28 Wednesday, 30 Thursday, 29 Friday, 27 Saturday. So it's going to be warm from midweek onwards. Lovely. And basically no rain this week. And we haven't had any rain for about any proper rain for about 3 weeks now. We had the odd heavy shower. The garden really needs some rain. It doesn't, and not just heavy rain. It just needs a steady wet day. Oh, I hadn't seen that. Okay. Doesn't fill me with huge amount of enthusiasm. Just going to check something else while I'm here. Okay, so that's right. So we'll just see what else is. Diascia. Alex is asking, you can ask a question? Yep, you can ask anything. Whether you get answers is different. But the question is, can you grow mint indoors? I would have thought possibly, yeah, you probably can in a pot on the windowsill. Yeah, no problem. In fact, Lone answered it for me in my absence, and so did only me. Rhubarb, no, no. And only means put it that industrially, yeah, rhubarb on an industrial scale is grown indoors because it likes growing in the dark. That's the only reason. But no, rhubarb, and rhubarb plants are huge plants to begin with. I know 2 houses ago there was some rhubarb in the garden, and they were huge. They get huge plants. You wouldn't want that on your windowsill. In fact, it would take up your whole kitchen. So yes, and to be honest, most types of herbs you can grow on a windowsill. In fact, if on YouTube, if you do a search, I've actually got I think there's actually a video on windowsill plants. and growing windowsill plant herbs and so on your windowsill. There's also I think just before Christmas we did a video about growing sort of salad and veg plants on your windowsill that would be ready in about 6 to 8 weeks. So there's plenty of options to do it. And actually, a lot of the flowers you see in the garden here, if you've grown a reasonable pot, you can grow it on a balcony or on a windowsill if you look after them. The reason why they ask about the rhubarb is because they've had a family of rabbits who've been in their back garden eating the rhubarb. So you can grow it inside if possible. Now, the only thing you probably really do about that is fence that area off for the rabbits, to keep the rabbits out. That's about it for outside rhubarb on a sort of domestic scale. That's all you can really do. And then obviously if you're going to fence off for the rabbits, you've got to dig down and put it deep enough so the rabbits don't dig under it. Something we don't actually have in the garden here, these rabbits. We used to have rabbits years ago. We used to have 2 rabbits, pet rabbits, but they were indoor rabbits. We had a cat at the time, but you would have thought the cat would be the one that was scared of the rabbits, but no, the cat was scared of especially the big female rabbit. She was the boss. The cat knew to stay away really. That's a few years ago now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to, I need to bring the camera up. I'm just going to tidy up the last few bits of that, and then I'm going to chuck some plants into this area that you're looking at the moment. Oh, thanks for, you found the video, did you, Lone? Oh, that's very impressive. The search engine is it's obviously pretty good. It's see if that's, oh yeah, it is that one. Yeah. So that's a good bit of mod work, Lone. Congratulations, you get a gold star for that. Yeah. So Alex, that's the video Lone's posted there for the windowsill plants. You can have a look at later if you want. Give you a few ideas, but there's lots and lots of ideas. To be honest, if you ask Google, it'll tell you. Saying that, if you ask Google, it'll probably tell you can grow a Christmas tree on your windowsill. And not a little one, but a full-size Christmas tree. Which I suppose actually, if you lived in a mansion or a palace, you could probably do that. But so technically, I suppose it's true. I don't know how many crown prince or princesses we have in chat today. I don't think royalty. Well, saying that, King Charles is into his gardening, but I don't think King Charles is watching us. But hello, sir, if you are watching, because you never know, do you? There's a funny story about something like that happening. There's a podcast on YouTube that I watch, and coincidentally, Prince William watches it as well, and just randomly at an event they met up, and Prince William knew all about the people who ran the podcast and knew the whole story and knew individual episodes. So shows royalty could be watching this. obviously everyone in chat's royalty to me, so I'll doff my hat to everyone, even though I haven't got a hat on. Right, that's enough rubbish. So I'm just going to trim some of this stuff back. This is some more of the shrubbery that actually lives on this hedge. So all I'm doing is trying to tidy this up. That's a perfect example of what you be careful of. Look, there's a bean stick there sticking up, and that nearly poked me in the eye. So there's lots of straggly new growth here that literally is swamping the area and taking over the area. In fact, to the point of there's quite a nice plant in there. I can't even remember what that looks like. Some sort of, no, I'm not even sure what that is. It might be some sort of pyracantha or something. But that's been basically taken over by the other plants. It's literally been bullied into submission. So that one's out. So we're literally just trimming stuff off, making the place look semi-respectable. And then you get plants like this. This is I've got Verbena stuck between my legs. Don't clip it. This is a perfect example of what's called layering, which I was thinking of doing the strawberries this week, but they're not quite ready for it. It's where you get a branch off a shrub or like a strawberry runner, and it touches the ground. And when it touches the ground, it then starts to spread roots out from the actual branch. And that's quite good because later you can come along, cut it off there. You've got the original branch, and now you've got a new branch with roots there. So you've got a new plant. It's good if you want a new plant. But you can see on this one, that's exactly what this one's done. There you go. You can see that is the original branch there that's been in contact with the soil. In fact, you can actually see the soil actually on the branch there, slightly darker, muddier, and then it's sent down the roots. So there you have a new plant. But because that branch is about 4 foot away from the original plant, that's how it's going to spread and grow, by sending out there. So there you go. And actually, if you want more shrubs and you've got one particular shrub you like, a lot of shrubs you can do that technique. There's probably some fancy name for it, but the way I always think of it is something called layering, as in we'll start that again, Layering. You see, we've cleared a lot of this out now, a lot of empty soil. We've got some fuchsias in here which have been swallowed up by the plant. We've got there's some crocus mia, something there, I'm not quite sure what that is. There's some sort of daisy. There's a mahonia plant here, and even the mahonia, which is a tough plant, that's been pushed forward as well by all those branches. So ideally, really, some of this stuff really needs to go at the back, because it just gets too big. It probably needs to be replaced with something a bit more gentler. Let's just see if this one's done the same. No. Tidy up a few of these bits and pieces. And this is the bulk of the sort of work you'll be doing in the midsummer. We've got past the point of sowing stuff, looking after it, planting stuff. So it's really maintenance at this time of year. We're not that far off sowing seeds for the autumn and the winter now, really. So I think what I'm going to do, let's just see. see some of this. It is bone dry, this is. So let's just I'll just take you off the stand for a sec and I'll show you the difference. So everyone hold on. Up we go. So you can see that's the plant we've been chopping back, Diascia. And then you can see all this extra space, all the soil, that basically that has been covering and killing anything under it. So what I'm going to do, we've got a few plants, I'm just going to chuck them in, fill in the areas, and then hopefully that'll give us a little bit of colour in that area, in the bare patches. It's not going to filter this year, but it's better than having a bush with no flowers on it. And I will get a drink while I'm going back to read the chat. Put that there, put that there. Put my glasses on, see what's been said. Get some to drink. Morning, Orange. Yes, thanks for that. Yes, we'll look out for the bare patches. That's almost as bad as one of my jokes. Yeah, I see Dem's still in here. Anyone who's coming in on the Twitch side, this week, 2 of the mods have got big streams. Tomorrow, Dem has got her 1-year affiliate anniversary stream with a giveaway. And on Tuesday, Leophora, who's gone off for a hike without us again, she's got her birthday stream. So the first one to attend will be Dem's stream tomorrow morning. So if you want to take part in the giveaway on that and just have a good fun stream, I'm sure there'll be plenty of opportunities to have a joke at my expense, probably. I'm having a hydration break. See, I could do with the hydration. I'm having a hydration break, so I have to. I'm contracted to do the merch, including the mugs and the beautiful shirts and hoodies and all the other rubbish. Morning, Peter. Well, it's not morning for you, but hello, Peter. Just going to go back. There's quite a lot of chat over on the old YouTube side. Contrary to what Bear says, there won't be an exam at the end of summer. Even though I did pass an awful lot of exams in my career, I hated them, so I wouldn't want to inflict them on anyone else. But the strange thing is, I'm not a professional. For anyone who doesn't know, I'm not a professional gardener. I'm just a hobby gardener who's been around a long time. And just having a little sit down for a sec. And you pick up stuff all the time. And actually, running the channel, when you make videos, you learn all sorts of stuff you never do, and you learn off other people in the chat and so on. And it's we've got nice communities here. Some are gardeners, some aren't gardeners, but it's a nice place to be. We've got some nice. We do nice relaxing streams, even if we aren't doing any gardening. So, for anyone who's actually new here, we live stream every Sunday at this time. We try to live stream at other times. In fact, this week we live streamed, I think, we live streamed twice this week, I think. When we did a storm first thing in the morning, can't remember what day that was, early on in the week, and then we did a live stream on, I think it was Friday evening. It's obviously a bit better suited to our North American friends. But yeah, you'll find most of our content over on YouTube, but we post on all the other good, bad, and indifferent platforms, so you can find us everywhere. We're under the same name wherever you go and look for us. Plus, if you're not sure, just go to our website, which again is under the same name, bearinthegarden.com, and you'll find all the links in there for everything. I meant to do a lot of work on the website this week. I've had off, but I never got around to it, so I've been too busy trying to sort out my tax returns. Crumbs, it's warm. What time is it? Right, let's get some plants in there, and then we'll swap over and we'll sort out the veg patch as well. Dem's over on Twitch saying that her giveaway tomorrow will be fun. In fact, awesome. Yeah. We all know Dem who's going to win, don't we? The winner's going to win. Right. This isn't achieving anything, is it? Even though I could sit on, for those who don't, I've got a little chair in the corner of the greenhouse, and I could just sit on that and fall asleep. So if the stream seems to be going on for hours and hours, and all you can hear is someone snoring, you know what's happened. Gloves. Take my glasses off, I don't need them. Right, let's find some plants to chuck into that area we've just cleared. I'll take a digging implement because I usually forget that. Don't want those. We could do those. That'll do okay. Oh, sorry about that. So we've got left about half a. Got about another tray, so we've got about 2 of these leftover trays. What I've got in here, I've got some grasses. Not sure what variety. Some that looks like Candula. Don't quote me on that. That's a foxglove or digitalis. I've got some aquilesias here, which would normally be flowering early in the year. The aquilesias I can plant now because they'll come up and flower next year before this bush gets too carried away. So that's there. Anyone who's watching, I don't know if you've got anyone in the chat, but anyone was watching Ashley on Architecture TV last night, and she was walking around a town in Ontario. There was a florist with a foxglove plant in its for sale display, and as regular viewers here know that foxglove plants can be toxic. So if you handle them, you want to wear gloves. And I spotted it, and so it wasn't just me. Several other viewers spotted it, and noticed it was foxglove, and saying it's toxic, don't touch. Because otherwise, I think if you wouldn't know, you'd think, oh, it's pretty, and you'd touch it. So now it is toxic to your pets as well. We have got 3 cats here, but I've got foxgloves all over the place, and to be brutally honest, they couldn't care less about them. So we're going to start with that one, and then I'm going to put that at the back, and then it's out my way. In fact, that's another rose bush there as well. That's been swamped by the. Oh yeah, I remember planting that now. That's been swamped by the. And you can see this. That's not sure what that is, but that's been pushed over as well. So obviously that's pushed over that. That's pushed over that, and then that's swamped anything that's growing under that. I'm so tempted to take that out, but perhaps if I do, it's a winter. So that's a job for the winter. So it's really technical, this gardening stuff. You get the plant out of the pot, dig a hole, and you firm it in, and then you chuck some water on it. So that's, if you learn anything today, that's how you do gardening. This is a perennial grass. Sometimes use that in hanging baskets. I think this is one we may have rescued. Is it? No, I don't know. But perhaps it's one. I'm trying to. Oh yeah, this is a festuca, as in Festuco. This is a blue version because it's got a slightly blue tinge to the grass. You can see that's got quite yellow now because it's very, very dry. Because even though you try to water plants when they're not actually in the ground, they dry out so quick, and especially on days like today, more so today. On a sunny day, they'll dry out, but the worse they dry out, it's actually on a windy day. So these are quite good because these are evergreen. This is why I tend to quite often use these in winter baskets, because they're evergreen, or in this case, ever blue. So again, dig a hole, shove the plant in, and firm it down. You can either firm it down with your fingers, or on a larger plant, you could just use your foot. Well, quite often you don't even have to firm it down, because if you're then going to water it, what the water will do is it'll take down some of the finer silt and fill in the gaps around the plant anyway. And you're only really firming it down for 2 reasons. One, see this Verbena was between my legs again. I don't know what it says about the Verbena. It's actually in the wrong place there, but it's too close to the front. That really needs to go to the back. Tempted to dig that up while I'm here. There's 2 reasons for firming it down. One, it stops the plant from moving around, but the main reason, it gets the root ball in contact with the soil around it, where it's going to get its moisture from. So I don't know how deep that's going to be. Oh no, it's not too bad. There you go. There's a huge, really tall Verbena, and it's got a tiny little root ball on it. That'll treat you for attacking me. Now because that's tall, I'm going to put that at the back. And again, it's a country style gardening, this is. So you have the taller plants at the back and the shorter plants at the front. Now this one's more important to firming because at the moment you wouldn't normally transfer it this time. You cut it back and then transfer it perhaps, but this is quite tall so it could blow around in the wind. So this one you actually want to firm in properly. And the classical way is to use your heel. If you use your whole foot, that's fine. But if you use your heel, you get more PSI out using your heel. So you get better contact with the soil. The other advantage at the moment, it's sort of tangled in with this rose, so that'll sort of stop it from falling over too much either. And now I can step back without being attacked by that. And then obviously we've got the hanging baskets here, which look pretty dry to me. Yeah, you probably can't see that, but you turn it around, the stuff at the back, some of it's died off. That's really dry. Yeah, everything's going to need a good watering when I finish anyway. We're doing over the grasses. Put it in somewhere where it's going to have some effect come the winter. You can probably hear how dry the ground is. And for Alex, who's could put netting around the rhubarb. If it was me eating your rhubarb, you wouldn't have to put the netting in very deep because I'm not very good at digging. So yeah, that's okay. Sort itself out. And then all I'm going to do is just, I'm not really going to think about what I'm going to do with it. I'm just going to put them into gaps where I can see gaps. Excuse me for a second, I'm just going to grovel around on my hands and knees. Oh, I'll say hello to, we have a lot of gnomes around the garden, haven't we? Hello, I'm Mr. Gnome. Yeah, okay. After we did a talking snapdragon flower the other night, I'm not sure we want a talking gnome. It's a good question though. I don't know whether, is it just the UK that has gnomes? That's a very good question. I would imagine a lot of the Commonwealth might know about gnomes. That's a gnome. I've got loads of them around the garden. Don't ask me why people keep buying me gnomes, but it's a bit scary really. Actually, I'll come back and see the chat, see if anyone has got gnomes. Forget the gardening, I want to know about gnomes. Oh, hello, Rocky's dead as well. I did see coming before, but I thought I'd say hello. Hello. Anyone got gnomes? Michael's saying he thinks the US has got some gnomes. I don't actually know what the significance of the having gnomes in gardens is really. So I'll take the Diascia while I'm here. I'll take the Diascia off the screen as well. Don't need that now. Rocky's Dead's got a business close to them that does all sorts of gnomes and things. Yeah, I don't know where gnomes came from really in a gardening sense. I know there's a lot of significance of certain plants to the sort of like the fairy world and superstitions like that, and evil spirits. But I don't really know what significance there is to where the gnomes come from. Right, is there anything else I want to use in that? Yeah, I might use some of that as well. So we'll come back to do some planting while everyone goes off to try to work out where gnomes come from. There's probably that plant, that's rubbish. Don't know what I'm putting there. There's probably a whole world of gnome jokes. And they've now gone quiet because I'm trying to think of gnome jokes. Yeah, trying to think of gnome jokes, but I've got gnome to give you. Okay, that wasn't very good, was it really? So these white ones are Bellis, which is this type of daisy. This is some of the ones we actually planted at sales. Bellis is perennial, and it's fairly short growing. So these will literally go for years, these will. And quite often they're sort of clump forming, so I'm going to put them in a little clump together. They're also very hardy, so you quite often see Bellis plants in winter baskets and troughs because they're good for flowering. If you get a mild winter, they'll flower the old winter. So just digging some holes. What else we got down here? We've got some fuchsias. We've actually got there was a little box hedge here, which was cut back a few years ago, but obviously some roots survived because the box has come back. But behind me here, the box caterpillar's been and it's stripped that, so that's all gone. There's a load of bird feathers there, which I'm afraid does not bode well for a bird. I think one of our resident cats may have dealt with that one. If anyone does see a cat, let me know. One day we'll get a cat actually come up here and get involved, but they're quite elusive at the moment because of the weather. During the winters, really, they like being in a nice warm house and keeping warm and out of the way, and then during the summer they just clear off for the day. So, and then what we'll put in, these are Aqualesia, which is like a little trumpety with the little claw on the back, which we've talked about before. These traditionally would be flowering spring through to early summer, so you wouldn't necessarily see these flowering in the garden. So I'm planting these really for next year. It's another perennial. So I'm just literally filling in the gaps with stuff. And I think I've said this before, it's one of the reasons why I tend to always keep back some plants that we grow, or we grow on from being a plug plant or something. It's for reasons like this, is that then you've got some more mature plants to put into the gaps. Because obviously if you go to the garden centre now and buy a mature plant, you're going to be paying a lot more money for them than you do when they're little. You can grow them on yourself anyway. So just put a couple more in there. And aqualesias themselves are very good at self-seeding. So the aqualesias that are down behind you could well seed up here anyway. I think that's what I'm going to put in there. There's a bit of, we've got a little bit more space. I don't want to overfill it because I want things like whatever that is, some sort of daisy to come back. And then there's a fuchsia there, which is being sort of swamped. There's also another rose there as well. So, and crocus behind it. So if I give those some water, they should shoot on now and fill in the gaps. So all we've literally done is put a few things in that really will fill in the gaps more so over the winter than the summer. So now comes the entertaining bit of trying to get back up again. Let's put that there, out of the way. Oh, it doesn't get any easier. Oh, right, that's that done. Come back and water that after the stream. Come back and check on the chat, and then we'll get to the veg patch. I see Loans put some stuff in about gnomes. The fact that thanks for the follow, and thanks for anyone who's followed in my absence. I don't, when I'm out crawling around on my hands and knees, I don't necessarily see the chat. According to Google, we have gnomes because they're representations of mythical underground guardians who protect the garden from pests and evil spirits. They don't do very good at protecting against slugs. According to the myth, gnomes come to life at night and secretly tend to the garden, ensuring a bountiful harvest. And they've evolved from traditional folklore into playful, light-hearted decorations that show off a gardener's sense of humour and personality. So there is some sort of mythology to it. And only means that King Charles has apparently got a hidden gnome at his Highgrove house. For anyone who doesn't know what Highgrove is, Highgrove's the King's personal home. I think it's in Gloucestershire, is it? Somewhere there, like that. Just go back up and see if there's anything else I've missed. So there's another. There are gnomes everywhere. Oh, yeah, there's a cricket playing gnome. They're everywhere. Right, everyone, hang on. We're going to. I was going to move you, but there's actually a gnome in the way. Believe it or not. You start streaming and you never think your stream could end because a gnome unplugs the cable. You don't factor these factors. You don't factor in these factors even. You don't even factor that in, do you? That a gnome could stop you streaming when you start. Right, everyone, hold on. We're going back to the veg patch. This won't take particularly long. This one. Just trying to think. Yeah, that's the wrong way. So ignore the fact that there are weeds in the veg patch. They are there for a very good purpose. Give me a minute to think about what that might be. I'm still thinking why the weeds are here for a good purpose. I don't know. Oh, I know. It's to give the slugs something else to nibble on. What I'm just going to do, I've got some which I've grown from seed. These are about 2.5 weeks old. These are climbing French beans, similar to we've got on the invisible netting. If anyone remembers the fiasco with the invisible netting. And I'm just going to put these into the 2 holes where the pumpkins have failed. And the purpose being is that hopefully, I've got to get back down again, dear me. Because the courgettes here, these will spread all over the place hopefully. The pumpkin should have covered the whole area, but the courgettes, these 2 should survive. There was another one here, but that seems to be eaten. But the 2 courgettes should spread and cover most of this anti-weed sheet here, and then but it's just unfortunate we've lost the pumpkins there. I could try to regrow pumpkins, but it's too late in the year now. So and while I am here, let's just pull out some of these, the worst of these weeds. Oh, and that's something else. It's amazing when you start to hover around. There's a flying ant there. And where there's one flying ant, that means there's going to be loads of flying ants this afternoon. So that'll be fun. So I'm just reutilising the hole where the pumpkin was. These should be tall enough and strong enough now to get away from the slugs. There's also a smell of manure down here, which isn't from here. It's almost certainly from the farms around here spreading. Because I would suspect a lot of them have probably cut some of their crops and then they put some manure down once they've cut the crop and taken the crop off. So anyone who's wanting to have a barbecue out here this afternoon is going to have the smell of cow manure. I assume that's what it is, to use a polite word, and flying ants. Fun. So those two are the climbing French beans. This here is invisible netting, which hopefully you can see. The invisible netting that went up in literally, well, we never finished it on stream. I don't mind growing more beans because of all the veg I eat. I don't eat a huge amount of veg, but the beans are what my favourite is. And also you can beans freeze really well. We never get through all these beans. But that'll do. These will need, because these two are climbing French beans. You can get ground French beans which grow to about 2-3 foot, but these will climb like runner beans do. These will need some stakes, but I don't think they don't need them yet. Once they get to that sort of waist height, I'll put a bean pole in and start to tie them in. So again, that all needs watering. Everything needs watering badly. So I'll come back in and see what's happening. For a second there, I couldn't find my glasses. Just reading the comments. It says it's Gloucestershire. Never heard of that programme, no. It's a little before my time. Never heard of it. Let's see what's going on in the outside world. Right, I assume you want a. What time is it? We're getting on there, aren't we? Let's do a garden tour. Show you some of the stuff we haven't actually seen on screen yet. Right, so I'll go out. Please bear in mind that when we're doing the garden tour, I can't actually see what I'm reading. Well, I can't see what I'm reading. Deary me. I can't see what chat is saying. That's a bit of a way of putting it, isn't it? So I'll talk my way through what I can, and then when we come back, if there are any questions, I'll try to answer them. So if you have got questions as we go along, chuck it in the comments. So I'm going to reverse you down the garden. And we'll do our usual walk. Anyone who's been here before, you know what we do. And it is interesting to go back and play back these streams and see what state the garden was in over the time, because it's changed so much. I mean, if you were all seeing this sort of garden tour at the beginning of the year, we literally just was soil and flower beds and a few flowers. So, okay, right, start from about here. So let's actually sort out the camera to get it more central. So we've got the carnations or dianthus there, the pink, or pink, they're sometimes called pinks, even though that's a red. We've got hardy geranium Roseanne. Got some cosmos starting to come out. So this is another pink or dianthus, or you can see they're going to seed. There's two theories about this. You can either let them go to seed and then the little seeds come out and they'll spread that way, or you can take them off and try to get them to flower again. I don't know what the real answer is. You can also take cuttings of these from the actual green, from the green stalks, and take cuttings. Never actually done it myself. Might be interesting to try. The busy Lizzie's impatiens look like someone's been eating them. So this is another dianthus, different type. There's so many different types. That's a gazania. Now this is one of the plants we saved from last year. If anyone remembers those streams, right back at the beginning of the year. All sorts of different colours. And then there's another geranium, hardy geranium, and onto the lady's mantle. Oh, I'll stand up slightly. And obviously we've got our favourites, the fuchsias. This is Genie, which we all know because it's got these lime green leaves. The bees love this. And we go along through past all these. And then we go into the darker leaved fuchsias, which is Lady Boothby. Yeah, that's Lady Boothby. Slightly bigger flowers. Very similar though. Potentilla. So I mixed in with it. So I'm trying to get it to autofocus. That's some calling on my hand, sorry. It is on autofocus, so you know it doesn't always do that. We've still got some English lavender flowering. The French lavender in the front garden is basically finished now. It needs its tops taking off, and we should get another flush of flowers on those. And some of this is English lavender is going over, so this probably needs some attention as well. Move back up here. Then this is the flower bed we did on stream right back early in the year. I think I showed this on. We looked at this for some time and discussed it on the evening stream this week. This is Scabiosa Beaujolais. It's a very pretty flower. And then you've got the geums. You've got the blue campanulas, the bells. Actually, that's a good example. That is, campanula's got lots of different varieties. So That's Campanula or Campanula. So that is one variety. If I put my thumb next to it, you can get a good indication of how big the flowers are. But then that is the same plant, but a different variety. Much, much smaller. Probably 20% of the size of the first one. They're very pretty varied. Come back up here. There's some more gazanias that we rescued. So we've got all sorts in there. Go past the fuchsias. I do love the fuchsias. Anyone who's been here some time will know that they're the favourite on the channel, or favourite in the garden. We'll quickly move past the foxgloves, which are setting seed, because that was very controversial the other night, and the snapdragons, which was the other controversial thing the other night. We've got all sorts of stuff. And because it's a sort of country style garden, I'm not fussed whether all the colours match or not. For anyone who didn't see Thursday night, or was it? No, not Thursday, not Friday night. I can't remember what night it was. Friday night. Was it Friday night? I think it was. Well, anyway, with the evening stream this week, we talked about snapdragons. And apparently, if you squeeze the sides of a snapdragon, the mouth opens up and down, and you can get it to talk. So somewhere on that evening stream from this week, you'll see my ventriloquist act of getting a snapdragon to talk. It's a cosmos. This is a different fuchsia. Wouldn't even know what variety that is. Might be voodoo, but don't quote me on that. Then we come on to these are the baskets. Sorry, these are the tubs we did on stream as well. So there's some of the Osteospermums there, some of the hardy geraniums. We've got some of these summer bulbs coming up. That's got a hydrangea in there. Then at the back, we've got the bottle brush, which has just got a few flowers left on it. Not very much, but now it's stopped flowering. It is grown like anything. These are onto the hanging baskets that we did. In fact, if I spin that round, you'll see what I mean. I was talking about earlier. Spin it around to an area where it's hidden at the back in the sun. You can see where we planted the plants. There's nothing there now, and it is so dry, the soil. Even though they watered twice yesterday, it's the wind that dries them out. So we've got petunias there, Lobelia. Those are petunias, but they're double petunias. You can see they're much more frilly. That's another frilly one there. These ones are the top ones there. I always pronounce it Nicotemia. Well, that's the right way of pronouncing it. Don't know. Some more Lobelia, but everything needs a good watering, really. I don't know what state this one's in on the other side. No, the other one's much better because it's slightly more shaded. That one's obviously a bit more exposed to the wind, so we'll come on here. Another fuchsia there. It's just started to get some flowers on it. We've got back to where we started. We've got Crocosmia. And the Crocosmia are the actual flowers, and then if you go down the the front ones are the flowers that are going to come out in due course. So you get succession flowering. Just if you think about it, if you're a plant, it's quite good that, because if there's some bad weather and there aren't very many insects going around pollinating stuff, you've got you can delay your, you don't put all your flowering into one go. We've got this is clematis. This is a really deep purple clematis. I can't remember what the variety is. Those are the seed heads. This is a daisy, and it is the type of daisy. It is a, I can't remember. It's something like, yeah, no, I'm not going to. It begins with an S anyway. I don't know. And then these are the plants that we put in a few weeks on. If you remember the stream we had with the robin. But again, you can just see how dry the soil is, and it looks like there's evidence there that a cat has been using it for a toilet, which is lovely. That's another danger to the plants in the garden, of being dug up by cats. Some nice impatiens there, busy lizzies. Some more dianthus. But that's a good example. You know, I was talking about plants being sort of swamped by other plants and having to sort of try to grow out. You can see here where that's the original plant there, but obviously there's been something else here in the past that sort of swamped it, and so instead of growing in that sort of area, it's decided, well, the only way to go is to go forward to get the light, and you can see where there's literally no growth on that, and all the greenery is on the front. Then we've got the pears, the pear tree. Actually, just holding that, I'm surprised there's quite a bit of weight on that already. There's a lot of pears on there. No apples, the apple trees failed this year. Don't know why. These are the sunflowers that we saw at the beginning of the stream. YouTube sunflower, Twitch sunflowers. And then this is another of our wall baskets we did. These are begonias. Again, we've got some more Osteospermum in there. And this is a Linaria, which we found out. I didn't know it till Thursday. So you learn something not Thursday, Friday, whenever. Well, that's interesting. That plant's got a scent to its leaves, quite lemony. But this is Linaria, but apparently it's also known as mini snapdragons. As you can see, it's almost got that sort of little dragon mouth, but on a smaller scale. So that's a pretty flower. I'm trying to think what that smells like. It's not quite lemon. It's a bit sagey. Yeah, don't know. And the moral of the story is, before you do anything else, before you eat or you touch your face or something, make sure you wash your hands when you're doing the gardening. So that's that. I can hear a blackbird. Let's find you something interesting to look at. Put you over here. Put you roughly over to where you started, but we'll zoom in on something else. Actually, that's a Petunia there, which isn't very interesting. Believe it or not, the sorry about that. I'm trying to move you, but one of the little tentacles from the gherkin has attached itself to the tripod. So that was interesting. Was not expecting that. So I'll just zoom in on something different. This is the Rudbeckia. Its common name being black-eyed Susan, because obviously it's got this dark colour on the inside. You can see just it's moving around, there's a bit of a breeze. So if I move you up slightly, and that's what it looks like before it flowers. So you can see a tiny little flower like that turns into something quite large. So let's go back and see if anyone's got comments about wandering around the garden. So, hello Wheels, good to see you. Oh, we've gone into Minecraft mode. Oh dear, yeah, hang on. Lots of people have that problem on the camera because it sort of overheats after time. Just going to blank you out for a sec, and then hopefully it's quite pretty in Minecraft mode, though. To be fair, right, camera. Just turn you off for a sec. Nope. No, I'm going to have to reset the camera, so I'm just going to put you in the BRB screen for a sec while I turn the camera off and back on. So. Hopefully we should be back. Yeah, looks good. Yeah, I've just it is the camera that does that. You see it on other streamers get the same thing. Well, I could do worse, Wheels. I'll play that back anyway and see. What I'm trying to do as well on these garden tools, some of it's out of focus sometimes. So what I'm trying to do is go back and do a little edited version. So and then put that out at afterwards. So if it has gone Minecraft, apologies for that. It's quite just. Oh, Dem's gone. Thanks, Dem. Thanks for lurking. Yes, we should be going back to normal now, hopefully. Yeah. Yeah, it's the camera, and having just touched the camera to turn it off, it is roasting hot. So what the cause of it, I don't know. Is I mean, lots of other people have had the same problems where it goes into Minecraft. Uh, I don't know what it is. So apologies for that. But yeah, that's the Rudbeckia, black-eyed Susan. The bees love that. So let's just go back. I'll see if you can still hear me, Dem. I'll see you tomorrow for Dem's affiliate stream and giveaway. Just reading through the comments, I can see Twitch has got an ad coming up in a few seconds, so I'll run that through and then answer any questions that I can see. While I'm reading the, well, it's not even that hot here and it's not that sunny. I mean, we lost 2 cameras the other week in the sun. It's just muggy here. While the ads are running on Twitch, and I'm reading the comments, if anyone's got a Dutch word of the day, feel free to put it in the chat. Anyone who's new to the channel, we've got a number of Dutch speakers who always challenge me with a Dutch word of the day to get hopelessly wrong. Just reading through. Yeah, so it looks to me from the comments that we didn't go into the that's very clever, Beauty of Creative. It looks like we didn't lose the pictures until towards the end of the garden tour. Which is always an advantage. Just still reading through the comments. We've got about 30 seconds on there on Twitch's ad break to go. Just doing a bit of tidying up. See what was going on. Right, okay. The Dutch were welcome back. Anyone who had to put up with the ads. As I say, we have first a number of. Originally, we had a lot of Dutch speakers in the chat, more so than probably English speakers. So we were always challenged with a Dutch word of the day. Those posted across the two. The Dutch word of the day is going to be for gnome, because we were talking about garden gnomes earlier. And apparently they have them in the Dutch language. Let me think about something like Kabuta. I'll go for that. Kabuta. We'll see what response I get as to whether that's any good or not. Some of the words have been totally and utterly impossible to say. We'll see what Beauty Love Creative thinks of my pronunciation of Kabota. Kabuto? Something like that anyway. You haven't said whether that was good or bad anyway. It only means being irritated by predictive text today. Well, yeah, it is irritating, but I suppose if that's the worst thing that's irritating today, it's not too bad. I've got no idea whether Kabuto is correct, but hey ho. No, it's nowhere near the correct pronunciation. So everyone can ask Google themselves how you say gnome in Dutch is, and it can read it out to you. It's obviously not the way I've read it out. But that's not surprising considering I don't speak Dutch. I'll say some thanks to everyone. I'm going to raid this out on Twitch. I'm going to raid this out somewhere quite different, somewhere that I don't mod on Twitch, but I mod on the YouTube side. But I'll raid you out to Twitch somewhere which is you'll probably enjoy. But usually ask people to guess what I'm having for lunch, but it's become far too predictable, and only me will probably guess straight away. So instead of asking what I'm going to have for lunch today, let's ask what everyone's going to have for lunch or dinner today, and we'll see what you're having today for a change. Because everyone will know what I'm having, because 9 times out of 10 it's the same thing. So let's see what everyone else is going to have for lunch, breakfast, dinner. It's always interesting because everyone's watching from different time zones while you're putting in your food choices of the day. That's interesting, Eric and Aria. Good to see you. I don't know if I said that. Did you just get ads in YouTube, Eric and Aria? I've been sidetracked. That's a very interesting question. And I'll explain why that's an interesting question. Oh, it was spelt incorrect, was it? Oh, right. So I didn't fail at the Dutch word of the day then. But has anyone else on YouTube had adverts today? And the reason I say is that I've got adverts turned off on live streams. So you shouldn't actually get them. But saying that, there's another live streamer that I watch who is a big channel. It's not the one that a lot of you else watch, but it's something totally different. And they have their ads turned off in the live stream as well. But for some reason, people are getting ads in the live streams, and they've got absolutely no control over it. And they have thousands of people to watching them. So apologies if you're getting ads in the live streams. You shouldn't be, but if you are, it's something that YouTube are doing in the background. So apologies for that. Okay, how to say it? Okay, kabouter. Oh, I don't know what YouTube does half the time. To the extent that I went into the YouTube studio part, which is where you see all your analytics, and there are 2 new sections on there that no one told me that was going to appear, and they've just appeared, and no explanation what they are, what they do, or anything. They're just there, so it just appears by magic. But only me gets me lunch. Are you having fish and chips as well? Are you only me? I'll say a few thanks. Thanks to any new subscribers on YouTube. Thanks to any new followers on Twitch. Thanks to the members on YouTube. Thanks to the subscribers on Twitch. You can use your Prime subscription on this channel, and you'll still get your ad view viewing, ad free viewing on this channel by doing that. Anything that comes into the channel through money, donations, bits, super chats, memberships, goes into the channel. It's ring fenced within the channel. So if you see me doing anything outside of the channel, that's coming from a separate fund. So anything you do give to the channel stays within the channel. We're not out to make a huge amount of money. We're only a relatively small channel, but anything that comes in is just seen as appreciation and thanks, really. So, but thank you just for watching. That's the main thing. Thanks everyone who's been here. I'll say a few thank you to individual people who I can see in chat. I know there's a lot of people lurking, but thanks to some people who've been chatting, only me, Alex, Colleen, Texas Bear, Eric and Aria, Peter, Beauty Love Creative. Just going back through, it's not always that easy to see who's been chatting. Then over on Twitch, thanks to Michael, to Wheels, Rock is Dead. Who else has been in here? Orange was here. Can't really go back that far today. I don't know why that is. Rabbit or Fox was here, but I've got to say that's separate to them. I think Scouting was here. Apologies if Colleen was here as well. Apologies if I've missed anyone. For some reason I can't see the full list of who's been in the chat. It is appreciated, everyone's time to spend with us. Going forward this week, YouTube's got all its usual content. Tuesday, Thursday lunchtime videos, the shorts every day. The Saturday premiere, which I know what it is. I've started working on that. We'll be live next Sunday for certain at the usual time. I'll try to do a live in the evening one time this week, which is obviously beneficial to anyone in North America. It's a better time for them. I don't know what day of the week that will be. It's more likely to be Thursday or Friday, but I don't know at this stage. I don't know what my schedule is this week, really. I'm working. I've got some work stuff to do this week, so I have to fit around stuff. I have to fit stuff around that. And you can tell I'm starting to get tired from this. I've been modding. I did 16 hours of modding on Friday, 16 hours yesterday, and before doing this, I've done about 6 hours. So I think it's slowly catching up with me. We need some sleep. But thank you everyone for being here. I hope you have an enjoyable rest of the weekend. I will raid us out on Twitch. I'll raid us out to a fantastic streamer. A lot of you probably know who this is. Say hello to her from me. I might see you over there. I do mod on the YouTube side for her, so that's where I generally live most of the time, but I do appear on the Twitch side. So, but say hello, say where you've come from. I don't think she'll be expecting me to raid in, but at least it's one way of letting her know that I'm back in the land of the living of the world of mods. And finally, thanks to my mods, thanks to Lone Ranger for being on both platforms, thanks to Dem for being on both platforms, thanks to Rabbit and Fox, and thanks to Leophora. It is appreciated what you do. And without the moderators, chat would be a much more unpleasant place to be. And at the end of the day, this is my garden, but it's also your garden. And everyone who's in chat, hope you enjoy the garden, and hope you come back and enjoy the content that we produce. So have a good weekend. I'm just going to go in and start setting up the raid. And thank you for your time. And take care of yourselves. And for anyone on Twitch, let the streamer we're raiding into let us know that where you're coming from and a bit about us. We're a community, and now we're going to go and join their community for a few minutes, even if you don't. So, thanks for your time, and if I know what I'm actually doing now, which apparently I don't, because I've just pressed the wrong button. That's the right button I want, and I'll see.